Here's another thing. I had a guy on a golf cart come up to me and say, "Hey, is that your truck?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You came in the wrong gate." "Oh?" "Yeah, you're supposed to come in this gate over here. Did you see the sign?" I said, "Yeah, I saw the sign." He's like, "I know the gate's not open. It's kind of confusing, but you're supposed to go in that gate." Why are we having this conversation, buddy? Christ, I'm in no mood for this today. Morning, driver. You guys ready to get back to it? It's gonna be a pretty reasonable week this week. First things first, I need to drop this trailer and hook up to the stretch because that's what we're doing. Kind of a windy and cold and yucky weekend, so I didn't get a lot done, but I did get some done. I got my airlines built. And these are the airlines I've built for the flatbed. They should work just fine, but I haven't had a chance to test them out and angles and jackknife and things like that. But I do believe it's going to work out pretty good. And I also built them for the step deck, and I built them for the stretch trailer also. So now I have a set of airlines for each trailer. Firing a hole. See if this thing wants to start up this morning. I think it will. I think it's getting time for new batteries. These batteries are starting to get a little slow. They're about 2 years old. It's getting to be time. My name is Jupiter. I drive a truck. I own the truck I drive, and that's why I called my company Jupiter Trucking. Join me, and I'll take you along on some of the different things I end up doing to make a buck with a truck. Speaking of battery issues, I've been having battery issues with the Peterbilt. 3 of them were totally bad, went totally bad. I think there's a drain in the truck. I'm working on that. I did get 3 new batteries. One of them was still good. Check this out. Smells like fuel. It's time for me to get back to work on this thing. The sun's coming out and it's time to make some progress. Looks like fun, doesn't it? I got Big Pappy out for that one. This one will follow me as I drive around. The other one won't. Little Zippy doesn't. Big Pappy does. So we'll see how it turned out. This trailer still has the airlines connected up front. One of my next projects is to put them down here in due time. So this is the setup for the stretch trailer. Years ago, I built like a manifold right here. And all these airlines and electrical go to the rear of the tractor, and yet I still have them up here for when I need to pull a different trailer or things like that. And these cords and lines are great. I mean, obviously they'll hook up to any trailer, so that's how that works. We're going to be taking another 75-foot long load down to Downey, and I don't know who else is going today, but at least we know we can get there, we know we can park there, and we know the situation. So it should be a pretty easy delivery. I don't have a backhaul lined up yet, but there seem to be several loads available coming back into Nevada, and we should be done on Wednesday. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's go to it. One more quick thing before we head over to the plant and go load. Now that I've changed trailers, I need to check the tires. Look at that. They're all about 98 pounds, and the tractor is perfect as well, all about 110. That is really a nice peace of mind to hook up to a different trailer and not have to put an air chuck on each one of them. GoudaTPMS.com. Use my discount code Jupiter10 and get 10% off anything you might need. I'm liking it. We're back again. I don't know if I have a minute to kill or not, but I'm gonna do something just kind of goofy. Okay, first of all, I gotta pull this pin out on the passenger side. There we go. And then walk around to the driver's side, do that side. I figured it's probably been a while since I've shown how this comes apart. The next thing I do is I flip this switch, and this air ram then pulls the pins out of the locking hole in the inside trailer frame. See this, there's this frame, it's double framed. That's out. Now, I have not stretched this trailer out past, I don't know, mid-60s, I think, in so long, or maybe even ever for this trailer, that I'm gonna do that. Just see how long it goes. Make sure there's no binding points or anything. Look at that. I think it's all the way out. I'm gonna get a pen and mark this too, but 48, 53, 58, 63, 68, 73, 78, and right there is 80. Hell yeah. I've never stretched this trailer out to 80. This particular trailer, my other trailer I did. My other trailer used to bind in the last 2 or 3 feet. It would bind up. This one rolled right out. Nice. That's an 80-foot trailer right there. Now that we've goofed off, we're gonna put it back to about 58. Probably just about there. Pretty close. So I'm going to close this up. The pin goes back in. It looks like it's a little bit behind the pin, so I'm going to need to pull forward until that latches. Now I can get the pins back in, and we are ready to go. I finished. I forgot to record that I was loaded. I got pulled into a couple meetings out here. I went in to talk to one of the shipping supervisors, and she said, you need to go talk to the head honcho people. So anyway, a couple meetings. We've got some really complicated jobs coming up. There's a lot of things that I've been doing the investigating on that they had no idea of, so they wanted some information. Anyway, I've been in a meeting for the last hour. Here's our load, 75 foot. The trailer is at 58. We got all our chains and binders and straps. We got our oversized load signs on. It's time to hit the road. Welcome to Montgomery Pass, Nevada. A ghost town. There was a motel over here. This place is completely abandoned now. Except there is a DOT yard right there. They take care of the roads. This is a really high elevation. We're at about 7,100 feet. 7,200 feet. You get a lot of weather here. This was a really important pass between western Nevada and eastern California. In the late 1880s, they built a road, a narrow narrow gauge railroad. It was the first link that Nevada had with Eastern California and Southern California. And now you could travel from Reno to Southern California by train, and you can haul freight back and forth. And it opened up this part of Nevada to the Southern California markets. This little town started off as a camp for railroad workers. It had a service station, it had places to live. This used to be a casino, bar, and a restaurant. When California started allowing Indian casinos, there's one big one that opened up in Bishop that's not too far from here. And it really took business away from these areas. That was in the late 90s. And this place closed around 2001 and burned down around 2010, 2011. So this was called Soper's Montgomery Pass Casino. And you can still find gambling chips and stuff online. She's pretty tore up. I remember gambling in here before I had any money at all to do anything like that. And I bet like $5. And I won up to $500, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I asked somebody, hey, if I lose this hand, do I get to keep my money? And they're like, yeah. So I hit double or nothing, and I lost. And I kicked myself for that 25 years later, because I could have really used $500 back then. I tell you what, I couldn't afford to lose 20. And I kind of quit ever gambling after that. I just don't care for it anymore. Here's another little fun fact. When this casino opened in the 30s and 40s, it was the highest elevation casino in the world. So I'd like to thank Dave for giving me that little tidbit there. He sent me a license plate and we talked back and forth, and he suggested I talk about Soper's and Montgomery Pass, and he told me it was the highest elevation casino. I had never heard that. I've been here, I've spent the night out here in this parking lot many times, but I never heard that before. Pretty fascinating little nugget of Nevada history. Oh, and speaking of Nevada history, the highest peak in Nevada is right over that hill over there, Boundary Peak, at about 13,000, 14,000 foot elevation. And only about 100 miles farther from that is the highest point in California, Mount Whitney, at over 14,000 foot elevation. And then a few miles from that is Death Valley, the lowest point in I believe, the continental United States, below sea level. Pretty wild territory around here. I do have places to go today, and we need to get moving on. But I'm going to get little Zippy out and fly him around a little bit. Look at this place. Hi, Zippy. Go take us for a tour. A little breezy up here, but it should be fine. Got little Zippy landed just in time. It got cold and it's starting to hail. just when you think it's going to be a nice, peaceful day, we just had a very interesting piece of shocking news at home. There was an earthquake about 5 minutes ago, 5.7 magnitude, probably 15 or 20 miles from the house. It was out in the desert, southeast of Silver Springs and southwest of Fallon. Out where we go riding, we spend a lot of time out there, but wow. Amy just called and said the light fixtures in the house were swinging and just the windows were rattling. This just happened a few minutes ago. There was no damage at home, but I hope there's no damage downtown. We'll find out. Wow, I just got cut off and brake checked. I have no idea why. I'm on cruise control just out here on a 2-lane road. And he passed me so slow with oncoming truck, and then he cut right in front of me and slammed on his brakes. What the fuck? And then gave me the finger out the window. What the f did I do? No idea. All right, it's that time of day again. Time to put lights on the load. I'm kind of disappointed because I'm about 30 minutes later than I was last week. And I was kind of hoping to be a little bit ahead of the game. But too many stops today, too many meetings and interruptions. So we're just gonna throw some lights on, get the rest of the way there. It'll be all right. Well, now we have another problem. The freeway's closed due to construction. So I gotta hit the surface streets and figure out how to get around it. I'm really not sure where to go. This is great. I don't know how long the closure lasts or where it ends at or whatever, so I love how people drive like it's a free-for-all. There are no consequences and there are no rules. I think I just saw somebody go, so all right, we're back on the freeway. Hey, what a lucky guess. My work is done here. Turn these things off. That'll do. See you guys tomorrow. Okay. Man, I tell you what, I do not like to go kicking rocks and yelling at people first thing in the morning, but there are 3 trucks that have just jumped in front of me in line here, and that is wrong. That is just wrong. Oh, God. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and they don't even start unloading for, well, last time they didn't start unloading until 7. We sat out here for an hour. I gotta go get to the bottom of this. Yeah, it doesn't matter now. The damage is done. I'm 4th in line no matter what I want. I yelled at all these people, but Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't imitate somebody who can't speak English very well. Hi, and how you doing? And shoot the shit. And I had to yell at him. Oh, if you're sleeping, well, no, then you go knock on doors. That's how it works around here. It's first, who gets here first goes first. You don't just go jump in the front because you don't see somebody there. I was awake, I was just not up and about because they didn't start till 7 the last time I was here. He was like, well, you got to reload? I said, doesn't everybody? He goes, no, we don't. Then what's your rush? Here's another thing. I had a guy on a golf cart come up to me and say, hey, is that your truck? I said, yeah. He goes, you came in the wrong gate. Oh? Yeah, you're supposed to come in this gate over here. Did you see the sign? I said, yeah, I saw the sign. He's like, I know the gate's not open. It's kind of confusing, but you're supposed to go in that gate. Why are we having this conversation, buddy? Christ, I'm in no mood for this today. So I'll beat this to death just a little bit more. I went and asked that kid, so who goes first next? Who goes next? He was like, I do. I said, why? I'm in front of you. What, now a line matters? Who's here first matters? I'm in front. I've nosed my truck in front of yours, so I get to go first. Well, no, I was in the gate first. I said I was parked on the street in front of the gate first. Oh, that doesn't matter. It's just, dude. Nice kid. I hate to be pissed at him, but I said, man, you got a lot to learn about this. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. I'm sitting right outside the job site, probably exactly where I spent the night last night. I'm just going to spend 15 or 20 minutes and look for a load home. I think I have one, and I'll rate this job site. So since I was here the other day, I kind of already gave it a rating, and I really don't have anything bad about the job. Professional, these guys were all good. I got to give this place an 8 at least. Not quite going to do a 9 because it's not quite a 9. Very frustrating with these trucks today. I don't think I mentioned that all 3 of these trucks are with the same company as well. They're all in cahoots with each other, hanging out with each other, and that part has been very frustrating. But I figure if I don't tell anybody, they'll never know. So it's my duty to at least tell them. I know nothing's going to change. They're not going to let me go in front of them. So it's my job to educate. All right. I'll let you know as soon as this backhaul comes through. We did it. We got a reload. There's actually quite a bit of freight moving out of this area going back home, so that is good. We're going to go pick up 2 reels of cable in Compton. It's about 30 minutes from here. Compton. The only thing I really know about Compton is from the old 80s and 90s gangster rap songs. Compton. All right. We're going to Compton. Let's get this stuff on. Guess it's official. I got my paperwork. I don't care for chaos. Everything around here feels like chaos, and I just feel like a whiner today. I'm gonna go get all my ready. I need to get coil racks out and chains out and all that stuff, so dunnage out. We'll go get that ready. Must be a nice place to live. There's plenty of people that live here. For this load, I need coil racks. And I bet you didn't know it, but there are some coil racks squirreled away in here. The amount of stuff that I carry in this truck, just in case I might need it, is pretty crazy. Lucky for me, I carry 4 pieces of dunnage on this trailer. I don't normally need it, so I don't normally try to have as much as I possibly can. But 4 is gonna work out just right. 6 chains, 4 coil racks, and 4 pieces of dunnage. Hold on. My paperwork's wrong and they say the product isn't here. The product that's on my paperwork is not in the yard. Let's see how this goes. We're fixed up, thank God. He had a 6 instead of a 5 on the original paperwork, and things were kind of screwy. You definitely need to have English as a second language around here. Wrong. See those 2 coils behind me on that yellow truck? That's what's on my paperwork. I have to go back again. There appear to be plenty of them out here. I guess we just got to figure out which ones I can take. Because apparently nobody knows what the hell's going on. I'm just happy to be getting my steps in. I don't do steps. This truck driver bod comes naturally. I've been so angry all morning that I'm trying to not be angry anymore. I'm trying to just be resigned to my fate in life. Get this over with and leave this chaos whole. He fixed the 2 numbers that he got wrong the first time, and then he got another number wrong that I didn't catch because I just, 5 digits. So I wrote it on my finger. 87527, 87527. Now maybe I can get loaded. Okay, now we're ready to go. Are you ready to go? I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna leave. Happy day. Okay. I'm about 31,000 on both drives and trailer axle. They are out here going to town today, boys. I was just gonna say something to the effect of, I kind of took the long way back to the freeway, specifically so I did not go past where that officer was performing inspections under the bridge when I came in. And man, I went right down the throat of it right there. But I got the green light. What it's like driving around with the stretch trailer in LA. Heavy, spring ride, enough to make it nauseous. Yeah, I had to stop and get a little fuel again. Do a load check. I have had to tighten these up a few times. It is absolutely crushing the dunnage I had. But on the good side, I guess if you can call it good, fuel is $6.88 a gallon, which is actually 21 cents less than it was yesterday when I drove by here. Oh, I got a loose one. Look what it's doing to this 4x4. Gone. Man. So yeah, $6.88, I'm glad to see that. I had to get 50 gallons of fuel this time. But this week, I'm not going directly home. Gotta make a side, I don't know if I even mentioned it. This load is going to Yerington. Yerington's about 45 minutes from my house. Compton to Yerington, we're not gonna make it all the way home tonight. We're gonna stop in a couple hours, probably at the top of Montgomery Pass at Soper's Casino, right where we stopped yesterday. Seems like a good spot. Go ahead and top it off, sir. Fill her up. I'd like some of that 10 cent a gallon diesel. I'm gonna go poke around in these buildings real quick. I would be absolutely shocked if there was anything cool left in here after all these years. Maybe an old Playboy magazine or something. Okay, I'm done. About 2 hours from where we need to deliver in the morning, and I'm just gonna get up and roll on in there. I know there's a bunch of trucks going, so I have no idea how long that'll take. What the hell? Somebody doesn't know how to frickin' tighten straps. Throw straps. It's tight, but that's what happens when the strap is flat. If you put a twist in it, it doesn't do that. All right, glad we could have this talk. See you guys in the morning. Morning, Nevada. Well, you were just gonna sit around and wait for the sun to come up, were you? Ooh, let's get it done. Yeah, these two are going in the dumpster also. Shattered and broken. I'm all done here. This is part of a huge project, a huge electrical project, obviously. It's called GreenLink, and it involves solar fields in central Nevada, and it's linking southern Nevada and central Nevada with northern Nevada, and there's so many data centers and stuff going in up here. It's just a huge, I don't even know what you call it. It's not an electrical project, but I've been hearing a lot about it for a couple years. I don't know that solar is quite the answer, to be honest with you, and the way it really jacks up the landscape, and they're really kind of bummed about the routing of it. It's supposed to be routed along Highway 50, which is gonna really tear up a lot of habitat out there. I have some very avid hunter friends and live out there, stuff like that. So it's just kind of a controversial project, and I really had no idea this was going on down here, so close to home. But speaking of close to home, I'm gonna go. Let's go. We made it home. I've got one thing I gotta check real quick. Well, it's only been 3 days. Let's see how it does. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm home and I'm done. No two ways about that. You know, logistically and mechanically, this was a great week. No problems, no breakdowns. Got a load down there, got a load back. Well-paying loads both ways.
But other than that, this was a difficult week. This was just a very frustrating week. There's a couple things going on. We've got some really big loads coming up here in a couple months, like 109-foot long loads, and there's been a lot of going back and forth. I'm kind of involved in the planning and the routing and the quotes and the whole thing for this, and it's gotten to be a lot. Getting kicked off the freeway and had no way around town, cut off, brake checked, and flipped off. And then yesterday with the guys cutting in front of me, and then just the other thing I want to say, the stretch trailer. People have asked, how come we don't take the stretch trailer if you got a longer load? I'd rather not take that trailer. It's solid steel, it's heavy, and it's spring ride. And those two reels on this trailer on the Southern California freeways was just a paint shaker for your brain. It was just very, I'm glad those things are off the trailer. Also, this earthquake, it happened about 15, 20 miles that direction from right here. And it turns out it was a 5.7 magnitude earthquake on a previously undiscovered and unknown fault line. So this weekend, I've got the GPS coordinates for the epicenter. I'm going to take the side-by-side out there and go check it out. I'll show you if there's anything worth seeing. I do have some security footage from around the property here. There's one in the shop. Doesn't look too bad. I got one on Mr. Bones too. He wasn't all that impressed. No real damage done. I think it knocked some things off the shelves at Walmart. Just rattled the windows here. And there's been a lot of aftershocks too. 2.8 to 3.5 aftershocks. So kind of interesting. They're wanting everybody to keep an eye on it because they could be an indicator of something greater in the future. Next week I'm going to be gone. I've got family coming in. Our good friend right down the street in the neighborhood is Amy's best friend, and they're not getting married. She's getting married. Not Amy. Amy's friend is getting married. And we're heavily involved with the wedding, so we're helping out with the wedding. My cousin Max from Texas, he's flying in. He's going to be here for a couple days too. So I've decided to take all next week off. I'm going to do something a little different for a video next week, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try it. I appreciate everybody trucking along. Thank you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. See ya. In the meantime, keep the bugs off your glass and the bears off your ass. Catch you on the flip-flop.